What's up, guys? How you doing? It's James here from Jraegames, and I'm back with another PSVR to PC video here. And today we are playing a very excellent game called Seeking Dawn. I'm going to show you how to set it up. It works amazing. It's a great game. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this one. Alright, well, we're going to just jump right into the game here and start playing. I'm going to start doing a lot more of these videos where I just show you gameplay of games that work really well with the PSVR. Today I'm using Nolo, and you've seen the last few videos I've used that. You can use the driver for VR with Kinect. That works great. But in this case, I'm going to use Nolo for the reason, not only that I like Nolo and the way that it acts, but also for the reason that I want to show you a setting here that I have neglected in the last few updates, but works really, really well. If you have Nolo, or if you've been using Nolo, you'll notice that because the PlayStation headset drifts a little to the left over time, you lose your connection with the base station using Nolo. Your controllers are here, but your head might be over here, and it's really frustrating. So the easy fix for that, and it's been there for a while, I just never used it, I neglected it, like I said, is first of all turn on Nolo, but under Advanced, you want to tell it to use Nolo's orientation. And I also had to turn on the invert Nolo x-axis because otherwise right was left and left was right. It was frustrating. But this is the option that is actually really excellent, works really well, and it keeps your headset and Nolo in the same orientation so that your controllers don't drift away from your headset. Excellent, excellent feature right there. Anyways, okay, I'm already started up. I've already got my PlayStation VR hooked up. I've got it calibrated. It's all ready to go. If you haven't watched my videos before and you haven't seen how to do this, watch them. Make sure you check them out beforehand so you know how to get set up. I should mention that there are discounts on Nolo and Trinus through my channel, so check the description for that if you're just starting out and you want to get going with this. I'm going to switch my camera over to the play space so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, we've got Steam up and running, and I am going to go into the play space here and get ready to play my game. Now the base station is in front of me. I could put it on the ceiling. In this case, I'm just going to have it in front of me for forward-facing play, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm up to in here. I'm going to get the headset on, and hopefully you guys can see that in the window, the mirror. Now you might be wondering, why is my Steam board showing up blank? That's because I disable my internet connection when I am making these videos. So that's the reason for that. Now, first thing you're going to notice is you're going to see that I am not in the chaperone. And the easiest way to fix that, as we've talked about in other videos, is to go to our OSVR Advanced and to set our play space up before we even do anything. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring myself forward a bit. You see how that did a good job. I can go all the way up to 1, and that is pretty much perfect in front of the, in the middle of the chaperone. If I close that, you can now see that I'm more or less perfectly within the center of the chaperone. Now the only reason that that's important is that some games will say that you're out of the play space if you're not inside of the chaperone, like Seeking Dawn. So I'm just going to go up to the board here, and I'm going to pick it. It should be the first one, and we're going to launch it. Now, one thing I want to mention is that in this particular game, when the load screens are happening, it'll appear as though it's frozen. It's not frozen, it's just basically loading, and I'm going to cut that out of the video anyway. So if you see the little jumps, the reason for that is I've cut out all of those frozen loading screens. So let's get going. Let's launch it. Here we go. Game is loading up nicely, and you can see I am at the start. What I'm going to do is just turn down. Just going to turn down the sound so you guys can actually hear me. in some cases, the sound might be more important than me talking. Less annoying. So here we go, we're going into the game. Now, the storyline, if you haven't played this game, and I don't want to spoil anything, but basically you are a space warrior, I guess you can call it, traveling from, to these different planets, and the crew of one of the ships from your fleet has crash landed on this planet, and you are sent down to check out what happened. Kind of a typical sci-fi story. I don't think there's anything original here, but the gameplay is fairly unique. It's fairly cool. Some of the things you can do are really neat. I'm going to show some of those features right now. So here we are. We're at the loading screen. Oh, and I got my hands crossed. Whoops. Oh, and I've got my wrist straps on, so yeah, I have to undo those before I can actually swap hands. So here we go. These are the little complications you run into with VR. Now you can see my hands hopefully in front of me, and I'm going to just hit the enter button, the trigger. We're going to continue. I'm going to go into a single player save game. Like I said, it's probably going to freeze, there might be a cut, but here we go. Okay, so here we are in the game, and like I said, you can see my hands, and right now my hands are empty. I have nothing in my hands. So in this particular game, you've got a couple options. You've got an inventory, which is controlled by your left menu button, so I can open that up. It also gives you your mission, your construction, your system settings, basically your graphic settings. We'll get into that in a bit. Your database, all that good stuff. And it sorts your stuff by different categories so that you can see what you've got. I'm going to just take an item and put it into my quick selection menu. Let's see, what do I want to replace here? Maybe for now I'll just leave it out and we'll come back to that. So that's the menu, and then if I click the menu button on the right stick, I get this wheel that basically gives me the quick select, so I can just basically put my hand on the item that I want. So let's say I want the pistol, well, there it is. Okay, and if I want something in my left hand, same deal. Oh, now I got the flashlight, and I can look around. By the way, the mirror that you are seeing on the computer right now does not do this any justice. It is a low resolution version of what this game looks like. It looks fantastic in the headset. I honestly feel like I am exploring this planet. Now the cool thing is all the guns, not all the guns, I might be telling you wrong information there, but this gun has a laser pointer. I can just basically just shoot and destroy things. Now, the thing that separates this game from pretty much every other sci-fi game out there, or at least the majority of them, is they have added this element where you not only explore the planet and destroy the aliens that are, kind of giving you trouble or whatever. Look at that popping. What the heck happened there? I'm going to kill this thing. Get out of my face. I don't want to die. Okay, now here's something funny. If I want to run, I just swing my arms. Now, they tried to make this more immersive by doing this, but you just end up feeling like an idiot when you do this. But hey, I think there's an option in the menu to turn it off. So here's my base. Now, I don't know if I'm still being followed by those annoying creatures. I might be. But this is my base, and this is where the game gets interesting, because your home base is kind of where you go to share the things that you have discovered and to use them to make yourself stronger. So the thing I really like about this game is it has the ability for you to build things. Now, as you go and collect resources, which I'm going to show you in a second, you can come back to your base, you can build better weapons and better armor, and here's an example. These guys that I just met, they're going to get attacked by my turrets, and I can finish them off as well, but my turrets are going to do most of the work, so there we go. For the most part, this game is a front-facing game. I don't really ever have to turn around. I mean, I could. And like I said with Nolo, I could put it on the ceiling if I really wanted to. But let's look at harvesting. All right, because harvesting materials is an important part of the game. So I'm going to switch to my harvesting tools. I'm going to use this one. Yes. And I'm going to use my one that I use for wood, which is this one. All right, these two tools do the majority of the work for harvesting. And so if I see a tree like this here, Most harvestable items got these green sort of orbs floating around them, so I'm just going to shoot it at the tree. You will see that tree kind of explode. And now we have materials that we can pick up off the ground. So those are wood materials mainly. And you'll get fruit and stuff from the trees as well. But here's an example of a metal material. And am I using the wrong tool? I might be. Hang on, maybe I picked the wrong one here. Yeah, I did. They look so similar. There we go. That was my repair tool to use for fixing the base if enemies attack it. And basically, there we go. So that's metal harvesting. And again, I'm trying not to include any sort of spoilers in this video so that I don't give too much away. But basically, I mean, as you can probably predict, you are not alone on this planet. Alright, and you find that out fairly early on in the game. Let's go take a quick look at some of the building stuff that we can do, some of the crafting. We'll take a look at that. Look at I'm running like an idiot. Whoops, got stuck on a stalagmite. That's really realistic. And here we go. We're going to go down to the base, which is underground here. Now, the base is pre-built for you. However, all of the components within the base, I'll show you what I mean, like the ammo station, all right, the armor, the gun station, I have an armor station, I have a food station, all these had to be built. And that's using the resources that you find. And when you actually come to a station, you know, let's say I need more bullets for my small caliber guns, I can craft them fairly easily using the materials that I've found throughout the world. So in that sort of aspect, it's kind of cool because it adds this building sort of aspect, which most of these games don't have. This is where you can create weapons and tools. So a lot of cool stuff there. If I walk over here, and again, you don't, watching this video, you don't have to put them in the same place I put them. This is just how I organize my base. Over here is a food station, so I could generate first aid kits, burgers, water, all that good stuff. All right, and if I continue on down the way here, I have a armor station where I can make better helmets, better chest pieces, better legs, better boots, better arms, all that good stuff. So that's kind of a cool aspect of the game. And some enemies in that are just way too hard to not be able to beat, or to be able to beat with just your simple sort of item. So you're going to make sure that you want to upgrade as you play. So this here is the teleporter, and as you can see, I'm about halfway through the game here. I'm going to go to a level that I passed sort of, previous to this, called the Field of Shards. I'll choose one of these. Basically, when you choose an area, the teleporter opens behind you, and I'm going to get the frozen screen again, the loading screen, so I'm just going to talk before I go through. And then you can go to old levels that you had been at, harvest materials and so on, and kind of build your strength up. So I'm going to go in here. Alright, so here we are now at Field of Shards. You can see this portal that has opened up. This is actually a previous portal that I had opened up that it brought me back to. And that's one of the cool things you can do is you can set portal points where you can come back to if you need to go back to the ship. Okay, so one thing I want to say about this game is that what you see on screen does not do it any justice at all. It looks incredible in here, super immersive and really, really nice looking. So I'm just going to get my med kit loaded up here, and I don't see it, so I'll have to put it into my inventory. So I will grab a med kit under food. This is what they look like. Alright, because my health is a little low. I want to really quickly, after I do that, I want to quickly talk about settings. So display settings. Now to drink something or to use something, you just basically put it to your mouth, move your mouth forward like so.
Oh, I feel much better.
And he feels much better. And you will see my health go up. Alright, and same with food and water and all that good stuff. Now if we were to get into a firefight here, which we'll do in a second, you would see that this becomes really important where you have different types of weapons, one in each hand, depending on how you like to play. I usually put something close range in one hand and something kind of far range in the other, and that kind of gives me the best of both worlds here. You can see both guns are locked and loaded and ready to go. All right, let's talk a little bit about settings, and then I'll play a little bit, and then I think that's a good idea of what the game looks like. Go to System, and inside you're under Settings. Now this game is going to just work for you because it is a Steam VR game. You can change the way that you move. You can walk or you can teleport. You can change how fast you walk. The run mode, like I talked about with the arm swinging, you can turn that on or off. You can change your rotation of your camera to smooth or angular, so if you like snap turning or smooth turning, it's up to you. And a couple other options here as far as opacity of the HUD and narrowing of your field of view and the height of your helmet. All that stuff can be modified. Inside gameplay, again, you got a few different options here. You can set them as you see fit. Now, the important thing is graphics. Depending on the speed of your computer, I am using a PSVR, so I had to adjust the brightness and contrast a little bit so that it would look better. Under graphics, you can increase the resolution multiplier. Mine's at 1.2, so basically that's your pixel density. And basically just turn it up until it starts to lag and then go back a bit because you don't want it to lag at all. And then you can set your quality to whatever runs good on your machine. All right, so I'm going to apply that. I'm going to say yep, and we're going to go back to the game. And I'm just going to play a little bit just to show you what that's like. So you saw harvesting. You saw not only harvesting, you saw some of the gun or battle system, some of the inventory. And like I said, for the most part, this game is fairly linear. It is somewhat open world. They got lots of hidden rooms and items along the way. But to pass a level or to get through a world or a part of the level, you have to follow a fairly linear path. All right, that's my only complaint, I would say, as far as the gameplay goes. Graphics-wise, it is beautiful. And I'm telling you that this does not do it justice. That low-res display is nothing compared to what I see. One thing that I will complain about from time to time, and this is for the PS Move and the Nolo, every now and then I'm going to hold my hands out. My screen's probably going to go blurry, but if I double-click, I am going to recenter myself with the base station. All right, because every now and then that will drift out of place. Now, one thing that I have noticed, and this is a bit of a con, oh, there's an enemy right there, is that you will see some pop-in from time to time, especially with enemies. I don't know why, but you will see enemies pop in. Sometimes resources will pop in as well. Certain things. Now, it's not major. It's not going to really, detract from your gameplay too much. There's something I could harvest, but I'm going to just keep on going. However, it can be a little jarring when an enemy just kind of pops up a lot closer than he should have been when you should have seen him from a lot further back. Anyways, I'm probably going to go to the next room and I'll stop there. You can see that this game plays very well and is well worth the money. It is a very immersive experience. If you like sci-fis, this game is fantastic. The building aspect and just the gameplay itself is really, really fun. I can pretty much guarantee that if you are, like I said, a sci-fi fan, or if you like these type of games in general, first-person shooters, you don't have to necessarily be a sci-fi fan, you're going to love this game. It is beautiful. It's incredible. Anyways, I think I'm done here. I am going to keep on playing, but I think that's enough to give you kind of an idea for how this thing plays and how it looks. It looks incredible. And again, with the PSVR, you're going to get away with a slightly lower resolution, which means you're going to get higher frame rates. So I recommend you get it. It's awesome. Alright, well, hopefully you guys like Seeking Dawn. As you can tell, it's a pretty awesome game and really addictive. You're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. I try to answer all my comments that are on the channel. And also, make sure to use the discount code for Trinus or Nolo if you plan on getting either one of those. Till next time, thanks for watching.